In a bizarre Wednesday afternoon stream, the desperate for attention, egg-shaped Tectone threatened the life of a chatter of his and then went on a slur-ridden rant that made absolutely no sense whatsoever. He got temporarily suspended for it, like everyone expected him to, and then he went on to cry about an unfair Twitch double standard, during which he proved that even when the consequences of his own actions catch up with the processing power of his pea-sized brain, he is still allergic to accountability and also is high-key pathetic, which again comes as no surprise. The only thing that is missing here, frankly, from this being a Tectone trifecta would be him literally crying, because he does that in seemingly every other drama he gets involved with. Now, under normal circumstances, I wouldn't really care, but I love slurs, I love the sacred and esoteric art of slur slinging, I love videos that are easy to make, and I love insulting Tectone. So strap on in and let me yap at you for a bit about this sad troglodyte. Remember to like and to subscribe.
Wait, is that a confession? No, shut the fuck up, you fucking weird fuck. How about I kill you in real life? Good lord, being weird as shit. But it is insane how, like, we are no longer called, like this is why we need to bring the word back, right? The reason why that is because when the internet says we can't say retard, we can't say, you know, any of these words, right? Now creators have gone and said, oh, well, we can't say retard or this other word, so now we're gonna call you a pedophile. Now we're gonna call you a rapist. Now we're gonna call you an abuser. Now we're gonna call you a sexual assaulter, because you took away the fun hee-hee-ha-ha words from the internet that did not get you accused of a crime, and now people are just accusing everyone of crimes.
Let's put the threat to kill someone in real life aside, because let's be real, even though Twitch has to act on stuff like this being said, who believes this fucking slob would do anything like that? If you wonder what brought this on, however, then wonder no more. Tectone was talking about Destiny, another streamer who was recently found out to have had a sexual relationship with a 17-year-old. That's why people are calling Destiny a nonce, not because they want to call him the F-slur, but they're not allowed, though that might be the case for Tectone maybe, since Destiny is bisexual and Tectone is homophobic, but rather these people call Destiny a pedo because he was sending and receiving sexual videos from a 17-year-old. That being said, this isn't a Destiny video, that'll come later, so it's the other words that we will be focusing on: rapist, sexual assaulter, and abuser. If I was to venture an educated guess, the reason why those sprung to mind so quickly is because that's the criticism most frequently labelled at Tectone himself. The reason why that's the case is because Tectone's ex, shortly after the relationship ended, went on Twitter and explained how Tectone used to make her cry and then shove his dick in her mouth because emotions turn him on, how he'd tell her that it's her responsibility to suck his dick because he pays rent, or how he used to shove her head down till she threw up when she was asking him to stop, all which culminated in a police report. Now, admittedly, Tectone denies the allegations, and nothing has as of right now been proven to my understanding, as it is unfortunately often the case with these kinds of domestic abuse situations. It's your choice whether you want to believe Tectone or his ex. In either case, people are calling him a rapist because he was accused of rape. Nobody is doing that because they can't call him the F-slur. Everyone is doing that because they believe the victim. So what was Tech's response to this, you might wonder? He first pretended like he's surprised he got banned, when he literally just threatened to murder a chatter, and he knows Twitch is going to take that seriously, even if the rest of us do not. Here is the tweet of Tectone saying, "You gotta be fucking kidding me," with a screenshot attached of his channel being temporarily unavailable due to the violation of Twitch's community guidelines, and he then later appealed this ban, got rejected, and then went on Twitter again in his usual fashion to spit out some more half-truths, where he said appeal rejected. It is actually worse to say the word F-slur, not directed towards anyone, than it is to falsely accuse someone of being a rapist or to call for the death of a streamer's wife. What the fuck is Twitch? Now, the bit where he mentions forced rape accusations is likely referring to the ones levied against him. The bit about calling for the death of a streamer's wife is about Hassan and his comments about Healer Klein. Now, I can't be fucked to go over that entire shitstorm in this video because this video is about Tectone, but Hassan didn't do what Tectone is accusing him of having done. Hassan is a genuine piece of shit, and him bringing up Hila Klein in that context was weird as hell, and the day people see on the outside all of how disgusting Hassan is on the inside is the day I will joyously dance naked in the rain. But he didn't call for the death of a streamer's wife. Close, but no cigar. That's the thing though, you see. When it comes to subhuman scum like Tectone, he is well aware of why people call him an abuser. He is well aware of the allegations against him. He is simply lying to his viewers because he knows they'll eat it up. You see, Tectone's viewers are already not the cream of the crop, so if you put them in a scenario where their favorite streamer is saying that all of the allegations about him are made up, they'll believe him, even if he has a history of lying, because they don't know about that history or don't care about it. Now, I'll include an hour-long video in the description of this video, which details many more of his lies, such as how he got kicked out of the OTK and then, like every other egotist who gets fired, went on stream and told his audience he quit of his own accord. Because that's what Tectone does. He lies. Just like in this instance, he said some dumb shit, then he got banned for it, and then went on to pretend like the unfair system is rigged against him. The Matrix is out to get him, and he's fighting the righteous battle to prove the double standard. Except, we're all aware of the double standard. Tectone is aware of the double standard, and was aware of it when he was attempting to slur sling, but rolled a nat 1 on the charisma check. It's like he thinks he's an anime protagonist, except I suppose instead of fighting the big bad evil demon guy, he abuses women, lies on stream, and then cries about the injustice of the world. Also, I feel like not stating this in a video about slurs and insults would be a crime, but an insult is supposed to be damaging. It's supposed to make you feel like shit. The art of slur slinging is partially about cutting your opponent with your insults. Tectone is cut by being called a rapist because there's truth to that insult. Calling him the F word wouldn't have nearly as much impact as never letting people forget who he is. And yet, as is often the case with stories like this, there is more still. I want to make proper sure that you know of other reasons why these allegations are being levied at him. To be fair, there's plenty that I am not going into in this video, and not that you should be confused about anything I mentioned so far, it's all pretty easy to understand, but people don't joke about rape being in Tectone's genes for no reason. Now that perspective is a bit of a noob for my taste, but I don't need you to agree with it, I just need you to understand why it's there. So say hello to the military man, Colonel Robertson, a man convicted of 14 charges by a military judge, those charges including sexually harassing 3 women and assaulting 5 women. His punishment was a $30,000 fine and 3 months in jail, only to retire with full benefits after serving his sentence. He was so notorious for groping women without consent that a government bill was introduced because of him to fundamentally change how seriously the reporting of sexual misconduct is taken in the military. A bill that was crucial because the women who came forward against Colonel Robertson have most probably have had their careers ruined. Colonel Robertson is Tectone's dad. That in and of itself shouldn't mean much. I'm more of a nurture than nature type of guy, and as tempted as I am to make a remark about how close the apple falls, we cannot be held guilty for the sins of our forefathers, is what I would say in a better timeline. Because in this timeline, Tectone invited his dad onto a stream where he tried whitewashing his reputation, and he later virtue signaled about his dad's reputation as a military man on Twitter about how this is not the America that his father fought for, in response to the growing problem of Twitch's most popular streamers like Hassan outright sharing terrorist propaganda. Now, terrorist propaganda on Twitch is admittedly a pretty big issue, but Tectone went about battling it in the dumbest way possible, because to be clear, the America that his father fought for is rape. Although if you say that to Tectone, he'll be very quick to correct you that his father was never charged for rape, he was only charged for sexual assault, so joke's on you, buddy boy. And just for no reason at all, here is an example of when Tectone was beefing with Nyara, a different content creator, where he quote-unquote joked about sending his dad after her, which is curious, because not only is Tech's attitude towards women becoming a bit of a pattern here, but also because I think the only reasonable conclusion from this is that he's joking about how his dad will help him win this internet spat by sexually assaulting Nyara. I think it's fair to say that Tectone very obviously looks up to his father, which is a bit of a fucking problem because his father should be in jail on sexual assault charges. Now when I say this I can only speak based on vibes, but I feel like if I knew, on a personal level I mean, someone who essentially escaped just punishment thanks to their military rank after they sexually and otherwise abused several women working under them, that person would be fucking dead to me. And the fact that this isn't the same for Tectone makes me feel like he doesn't consider what his father did all that serious. That, in turn, makes me feel like there might be something to his ex's allegations, especially since one of those allegations was that Tectone's father made her feel very uncomfortable in his presence as he would joke about women being raped in Vietnam. Liking sports cars doesn't run in your genes, but if your dad likes sports cars and you look up to your dad, you will probably end up liking sports cars. If we assume that to be true, what does it mean for you if your dad, rather than sports cars, likes to sexually abuse women? The story of Tectone's 5th Twitch ban more or less ends here. If you're a streamer reacting to this video, you might want to pause it and mute it for your stream for a sec. I'm about to slur, so consider this your trigger warning. Tectone, my guy, nobody is out here desperate to call you a faggot, but they can't because of pesky internet rules. Faggot doesn't really work as an insult unless you're a heterosexual dude insecure in your own masculinity, so I suppose maybe it would work on you actually. In either case, faggots are cool. You are just a fucking rapist. You can unmute the video now. Tectone is an abuser who denies, who attacks, and who reverses the victim and offender. Even when pressed to be honest about why he was banned, he can't help but to misdirect and want to focus on Hassan, such as in the tweet here where he said, "I am all for me getting banned if it happens," for telling a chatter to kill themselves. I apologized for it just really rolls off the tongue sometimes, not gonna lie. But can we also ban Hassan for saying Hila Klein is a valid military target? Or are we just going to ignore that? What a lot of these subhuman scumfucks fail to understand is that if you're a Hassan stan, you won't listen to the lying egg-shaped rapist because he's a rapist. If you deeply dislike both Hassan and Tectone, like myself for example, you won't take Tectone's word on any of this because he's a lying egg-shaped rapist, and you don't need to take his word on any of it because you already dislike Hassan. If you're a Tectone stan, I pity the women in your life. That'll be it for today, a short and sweet video with more to come soon. Remember to like and to subscribe. Special thanks to my Patreons whose names will be on the screen shortly. Good night, and take care.